Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get a little spooky. I'm going to show you how to knit the pumpkin patch stitch using my own hand-dyed yarn. It looks just like tiny pumpkins scattered across your fabric, and it's perfect for those autumn knits and everything Halloween themed. Right now I'm working on my new design. It's the Scatterlight shawl, and I'll be demonstrating the stitch in a section of the shawl where there's a bit of corrugated ribbing going on, and that part of the pattern can feel a little complex. So I'll walk you through it step by step, and I'll show you exactly how to place the pumpkins so it all makes sense. Let's go. Assigned purling is a really cool dyeing technique where one section of the yarn is dyed in a strong contrast color on purpose. That section isn't random, it's meant to trigger a specific stitch pattern whenever you reach it. So instead of letting the colors pool unpredictably, you'll have an assigned texture to that contrast section. So you'll knit a basic stitch of, for instance, stockinette, and whenever you reach the contrast color, you'll change to the textured stitch. And it's a really simple way to create a complex looking fabric just by following the colors of your yarn. I'll be demonstrating how to do the pumpkin patch stitch from the right side of the fabric first, and later on in the video I will do the same stitch but then from the wrong side of the fabric. Please bear in mind that this is a directional yarn, so you need to pay attention to which color comes first. And for this stitch, it's important that you make sure the green part of the colored section comes first, as you can see in the video. So we have our green section of yarn coming up. Make sure you end with a contrast colored stitch, and you're going to stick your needle from front to back through your fabric and create a loop. Now, the location is not very important, about 3 or 4 stitches down. Create a loop that is partly green and partly orange, and start twisting it around on your needles. How often you need to twist it is entirely up to you. It gives a really nice effect to keep twisting because the yarn will start to coil in upon itself, which is very similar to what real pumpkins do. About 5 or 6 times will certainly do the trick. Now next we're going to slip 1 stitch from your left to your right hand needle and knit the next stitch on your needles, but don't slide it off your needle just yet. Position your needles not in a vertical way but more in a horizontal way, and start looping your orange part of your yarn around both needles. There you go. So you're going to do this 20 times, and it's different in each skein. Sometimes it's 19 or 18 and sometimes it's 21 or 22. Just test it out a couple of times. In this skein it's 20 times, and on the 20th you're going to make a loop like this, and you're going to make sure you pull that tight. I'm going to show this. You need to put your right hand needle from the back to the front whilst keeping your working yarn pretty tight, and then move it downwards. So you knit all those loops at once. Bear in mind this can be a bit tricky, but practice makes perfect. And pull out your yarn, pull the whole loop to one side. It doesn't matter if there's still a bit of yarn left at the end. You can try to unwind it, but it's okay, because you're going to pull your working yarn, and by pulling it, the loop is going to coil in around itself as such, and you'll end up with a pumpkin. Now what you're going to do now is to bring that coil to the front of your work and slip 4 stitches from your left hand needle to your right hand needle. There's 2, 3 and 4. Now you're going to bring the working yarn to the back and slip 1 stitch back from your left hand needle to your right hand needle. Essentially you're trapping the pumpkin so it can't move anymore. Now you need to decrease 1 because you've increased 1 at the start. So you're going to do a knit 2 tog through the back loop. What that does, it brings the little green stem to the front, so it will visually be nicer. And now continue in pattern. So you were doing corrugated rib, dark and white, so the next one should be dark. And now do another stitch in the lighter yarn and continue on your way. That was how to do the pumpkin stitch on the right side of your fabric. Now let's go to the wrong side of your fabric. So here we are at the wrong side of the fabric. We're going to keep knitting until we encounter a green part again of our yarn. The stitch is pretty much similar. There's just small differences. So we wait until we encounter a green part, and again we are going to end with a contrast colored stitch if you're in the corrugated rib section. Now turn your work and create a loop just like you did on the right side. Stick your needle from front to back somewhere 3 or 4 stitches down and create a loop by pulling out your yarn and twist it a couple of times around on your needles. Now on the right side of the fabric you're going to slip 1 stitch from left to right, but now we're in a different direction and we need to slip 1 stitch from the right to the left. Actually 2, and the last one we're going to knit but not slip off the needles. Twist your yarn around your needles 20 times. About halfway your yarn will start to change color. Don't worry, it's supposed to be like that. And on the 20th time you're going to loop it around your right hand needle. Carefully bring your needle from back to front and downwards to knit all the loops at once. Pull out that very long twisted loop and pull your working yarn to make that beautiful pumpkin coil. There you go. Bring your coil to the front. And we're going to in the different direction again. So we're going to slip 3 stitches back. Not 4, but 3. From our left to our right hand needle. Bring your yarn from front to back and slip 1 stitch back, trapping the pumpkin and attaching it to your fabric. Turn your work and decrease 1 stitch by doing a purl 2 tog. In this case, to keep in the rhythm, you need to do another purl with your contrast colored yarn and another purl stitch in your main color, and that's it. Now you have a beautiful pumpkin created from the wrong side of your fabric. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful and hit subscribe for more knitting tutorials, especially if you're into assigned pooling yarns. Thank you so much for watching and happy knitting.